Start recording. Okay, welcome to graphics design course. Today is Monday, March 9th, and we are going to start our final project for Gimp. After Gimp, we're going to move on to vector-based images, which will allow us to create logos, really pretty nice looking things. And we will be using Inkscape for that. Right now we're using Gimp. Both of them are free. These are awesome programs. If you haven't figured that out already, I would highly recommend you download them at home for Mac, Linux, or Windows. All right, so our final project, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the baseball player one, and we're going to be overwriting this. Now, this is actually a very, very difficult project. If you finish this project in 2 classes, I would say you're either a magician or you're sloppy. Okay, I don't want sloppy work. Now, guys, that cat that we did before, I mean, it took me about half a period to show you guys all of what you guys did, and I know it took a lot of time to go through all 12 students, but it was worth it because I was able to give you guys individual feedback for what you could have improved. This is difficult. I would say this is even more difficult than editing out a skyscraper or putting in a new skyscraper. I would say this is more difficult. The only reason why I say that, it wouldn't be. What makes this challenging is we're going to take this baseball player out. And what makes that challenging is the grass. There's stripes in the grass. If there were no stripes in the grass, this would be a pretty easy, just as easy as the cat project. But this is going to make it very, very difficult. Now, and there's actually different things that I want you to do. That's just part 1. Take out the baseball player. There's actually 3 parts that you have to do on here. The hardest is taking out the baseball player. Okay? But when you're done with that, you're not done with the project. Because what you're going to have to do after that is put somebody else there. Well, what should I put there? Whoever you want. But there are some restrictions. Obviously, you have to have, well, you're going to have to, Google or Bing image search it, number 1. Number 2, it has to be a high resolution picture. Obviously, you don't want something pixelated and junky looking and not looking so good. Number 3, it needs to be a full body, head to toe. You know what I mean? Because most of the pictures you find of people is just going to be like, chest up or something like that, just the top, right? But we need the whole body because we're going to put them in place of this baseball player. So that's number 2. So number 1, get rid of the baseball player. Number 2, find your own image. You're going to have to crop it, and you're going to have to put it here. Number 3, it needs to be behind the catcher. You understand what I'm saying, right? Behind the catcher. The catcher's arm is right here. Right? You have to put them behind it. Do you guys, if I didn't explain how to do that, raise your hand. Ideas. What can you do to get that to work? Yeah, what do you think?
Did you copy out the outline of the pitcher's hand? Delete
The catcher's hand, you mean?
Oh, the catcher's hand. And then put it, like the face of it over?
Yes. That's pretty much it. It's easy. Grab his arm, crop it, and what I would do, just one thing different than what Justin mentioned, what I would do is I would paste it on a transparent layer on top of it all. You see what I'm saying? Right? That's what I would do. So those are really the 3 steps. That's the easy step, right? Step 3 is the easy step, but that's probably one of the last things you're going to do. All right, so let me show you. I'm going to do part of this right now. Now again, here is my version of the baseball player gone. And here is the baseball player still there. Oh, let me zoom out to the right. They're both at 66.7. But this one is slid up a little bit. This one is, oh, I slid this down. So I just want to make it side by side, almost. Oh, it's almost there, darn it. Well, close enough. What, you see? It's going to be pretty easy to get rid of that guy's bat because it's just bleacher back there, right? But to get rid of the grass, right, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. Okay, so that is That is what it looks like without. And
Got rid of the shadow too.
oh, yes, yes, yes. That is correct. Look at the shadow of this guy down here, right? You're going to have to take care of that. Now, I can't remember if this is the one that, you know what, was this the one that I did, or this might have been the one that one of my students did, because I might have lost mine and not saved it. So this one, yeah, I mean, it's going to be pretty, this is the hard part, getting those stripes in, and even looking at it. If you were to give this to somebody, they would be able to tell it's Photoshop. So if you gave it to me, I'd be like, hey, what's going on with that grass there? It's kind of crooked, right? But decent job right here. Okay, so I need to show you guys, well, what's the rest of the period? Why can't we start this project today? Well, I can go real quick, but I also want to show you guys, I'm going to try to take this baseball player off and show you what I'm doing and explain what I'm doing as I'm doing it. There's no secret here. Well, you know, I've already taught you guys most of what you need to use, the clone tool and the healing tool. Once in a while, you might need to crop something out, like crop out a piece of grass. I mean, that could be possible, but and you're gonna the type of the brush, the size of the brush, and the angle of the brush are going to be pretty important for doing this grass right. Okay, so there's a couple of techniques. That's why I want to take this time. That's why it's going to you guys probably won't start on this project today, but you'll start on it next time. Okay, so let's get ready for let's pretend, you know, I'll save that part for last. How about that? Let's pretend I've already gotten this guy out, because I want to just jump to the chase before I spend time on this grass. Pretend I already did step 1. The guy's gone. Now it's time for step 2. Step 2 is go on Google or Bing image search, find a picture of somebody. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a picture of Rafael Nadal. Bam. Okay. Now also you're going to want to try to make sure you can get, it's not going to be a precise science here, but oh, is this my good version of him? No, this is my junky version of him. Shoot, you see how pixelated his shoe is when I zoom into that? It's because of this. Look at the resolution, 750 by 500, right? That's pretty low res right there. Considering that this image here, look at this. I mean, it's not super high res, but you're going to want to note the resolution of this image. It's about 2,000 by 1,000, roughly, right? 2,000 by 1,000. So this is at least a 2.5 megapixel picture. So I would try to get a pretty high res version of whatever you're going to get. So, you know, hang on. Let me go to File, Recent. I think maybe it was my other version. Oop, cancel, no. File, Open Recent. Maybe it was this one. Yes, that was my high res one. This is my low res one. See, now if I zoom into his shoe, see? There he goes. It's not bad. And the resolution on this one, can you see it? There it is. 2,000 by 1,400. So yeah, that's about right. Now, don't worry about being off a little bit, because, I mean, obviously this is going to be off. Because we can resize it to fit. Obviously, if your dude is really, really small, when you put him on your baseball, in place of the baseball player, he's going to look like a munchkin, right? But you can resize it. So I'll show you how to do all of that right now. So steps 2 and 3, let me show you from the beginning. Is, let's see, Firefox, image search right here. And I just want to remind you guys, Bing is awesome. Like my propaganda there? Bing is awesome. Google, who uses, man, what is this, 2010? Who uses Google? All right, anyways, and you can see my rewards, huh? I told you guys about this. Want to see, look at how many rewards I've got. Look at that. Wouldn't you like this many rewards for doing what you're already doing? Let me just click right here. What? A $25 Taco Bell gift card? Oh, pretty sweet there. Looks like I'm going to have me some Taco Bell for dinner tonight. I could just click on redeem right now and get me a $25 Taco Bell gift card right now. And there's more choices than just Taco Bell. Okay, anyways. And see, here it is, right? If you search on your computer, every search that you get, I think you get like 5 points. So I've done 2 searches today. Max is capped out at 150. If you do mobile search, you can get 100 extra. And if you use Microsoft Edge as your default web browser, don't do that. Then you can get 20 points. Ooh, per day. I think that's per day, actually. But if you haven't heard the news, just a heads up here. Microsoft Edge isn't going to suck as much as it does right now pretty soon, because what they're doing is they're going to use Chromium, which is exactly what Chrome uses, which is exactly what everybody uses except for Firefox. It's either Firefox or Chromium. Everything's, and I would say 80% of the web or so is Chrome or Chromium-based browsers. So Edge is about to switch over. So if you use Edge, it's just like using Chrome. Anyways, my plug is done. They should pay me for that. Okay. All right, for my plugs. Get a YouTube channel, Michelle. Okay. All right. I do have one, and this is going to be posted on YouTube. All right. So I'm going to type in, obviously, I'm just going to show you guys what I'm going to do. Rafael Nadal. Press enter there. And obviously, choose somebody. It doesn't even have to be an athlete, but you're just going to put somebody in place of that baseball player. And again, just then I'm going to click on images. And see, there's a lot of great images, but they're not full body images, which is not going to work. I don't want somebody's torso on there. I want the whole body, right? I mean, otherwise it just won't look right. One thing you're going to want to do when you do this, and you can do this on obviously on Google search as well, you're going to want to change the image size. Now, you could do at least. That would be one way of doing it. But what I like to do is I like to do extra large on here, is what I usually like to do. And when I do that, let's see. See, here's some extra large pictures. See, here's a picture. That one would work. Even though it's smaller, see, it's only 1200 by 1600 or 1600 by, that's something, yeah, ballpark. It's pretty good. I would just do extra large, and then you're just going to find a picture, and then you're going to download that picture. And when you finish downloading that picture, you're gonna need to crop it. And here, let me just zoom out right here. And obviously, if you can't find something to your liking and you can't find a full body shot, which is going to be a little bit harder, usually there's a more button right at the bottom. Oh, this one's just keep on going. All right, well, yeah, see more images. Eventually, you might hit this cap and just click on see more images. But hopefully by that time, you'll get a full body shot of some kind. Okay. All right, so I've already got mine, and I don't need to teach you guys how to download, hopefully, how to download pictures. All right, there we go. So I have mine, so now I'm going to go to my picture, and again, what you're going to want to do on this when you use which tool am I going to use? That's right, the lasso tool. I'm going to use the lasso tool, and the trick is, remember, you're going to want to be just barely on the inside, okay, inside edge. All right, let me go on his pants, it's easier to see, right? You don't want to be on the outside edge. You're going to get the red clay. You don't want to be right on the line either. You're going to get some red clay. You want to be barely on the inside line. So I'm actually going to click, see, so that I'm avoiding, and obviously the more dots that you use, the better. And I already showed you guys, if you accidentally mess up like that, well, after you're done with it all, you can click and move that back to where it should be. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and do a sloppy crop because you get the idea of what I'm doing already. Okay, I'm not doing a sloppy crop right now. I'm doing a good crop, and it's really hard to see this guy's leg up against this red sand. But you get the idea. I'm just going to go ahead and do sloppy now, right? Y'all understand? Sloppy. All right, and you can move these, obviously. And zooming in helps with fine detail work, but I don't care right now. So we're just going to get everything. Okay, let me just hurry up. Oops, messed up his shoe, but I'll fix that. Zoom out, move this. Here. Yeah, great job, Miss Shang. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. All right. Okay, yeah, I'm doing a really bad job, but I just want to hurry up because you guys get the idea. Oh, dang, I missed part of his racket, but. And yes, I'm going to need to take this area right here out of him too. You realize that, right? You don't want, there's going to be parts like, if they're like, making a pose or something like that, you don't want parts that don't belong. Okay? Oh, darn it, I went too far. Click there. And see, now I can actually click and move these to where I need to, right? So I'm like, that one was a mistake. And what else? Let me just fix one more thing. I want his entire racket, so I'm going to drag that one out a little bit more. Okay, I've got all of him, and I think I'm moderately happy with a sloppy crop. Once you've got that, actually I found the secret. Instead of just clicking on, you could just click on here to make the dancing ants appear. After you've got everything and you've redragged everything that was off that you needed to redrag, if there was anything, right? Then what you do is you just press enter on your keyboard. And there, the dancing ants appear. Edit copy. I go here and edit. Oh, you know what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to I would prefer not putting it right down on here. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put it on its own layer. So I'm going to go to layer, new layer, and make sure that this is on transparency. Please don't choose black or white or whatever. Transparency, hit OK. And there you go. I have a transparent layer right there. Then I'm going to go ahead and edit, paste. And there he is, and he's a giant, right? He's way, 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 way too big. But before we put him down, we're going to have to obviously do some fixing on him. We're going to have to resize him. So what I want to do is click on this tool right here, the scale tool. Click on that. Click on him. And make sure that this is locked, right? The chain has to be locked. Otherwise, it's not going to respect your proportions, right? If you unlock it like this. Well, now it's a broken chain, right? You have to keep that locked. All right, then I'm going to click and drag. Let me zoom out real quick. And now he looks like a midget, right? So we're going to want to make him, I don't know, eyeball it as best as you can. I'm going to go with, should I go like that? Okay. I'm going to go like that tall. I don't want to make him, okay. As, you know, just eyeball it. You get the idea. Do a better job than me. Hit scale, and voila, now he's scaled. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to move him to where I want him to be. Obviously I can still move him around. And yeah, here, let me zoom out a little bit so you can see the full picture. I'm going to put him out here. Now, you do need to make sure that the person is going to, I can tell that the catcher is in front of him. So obviously if I put him all the way out here, like, you know, no need to modify the catcher. But I'm telling you, he needs to be obviously behind the catcher. So I'm going to put him like out here. Yeah, like that. And he looks a little bit big, but well, okay, whatever. He looks like a giant. Okay, I'm going to scale him down just a little bit more. Okay, I think that's a little bit more realistic. All right. Now that I've put him down, I'm going to click on the move tool here. And if you see, I know it's kind of hard to see, but my mouse icon has a picture of an anchor on it, right? Because now if I go ahead and click on it, it's going to go ahead and anchor it down to whatever layer it is below this floating paste that I just did. So I'm going to go ahead and click, now that I'm happy with where I put him, I'm going to click like that, see? And now he's on his own on this blank layer. See, if I turn off the eyeball off of that, see, it's just him, which is good. It's a good idea to work on different things on different layers. It just makes life a lot easier for many things, especially for, like, for example, coloring. One of the biggest challenge now that you've got this picture on here, now I've done a crappy job of I got all this red sand all over the place, so it doesn't even look believable, but pretend I did a good job. The other major problem here is color, right? When you take pictures, right, when one person takes a picture and another person takes a picture, the lighting's completely different. Now, this isn't terrible, what I've done here. I mean, the lighting isn't so bright or isn't so muted. It's kind of medium. And this one, yeah, it looks pretty believable. But sometimes the picture that you find of whatever you're going to do it on, it might not match the lighting and the coloring, might not quite match with the lighting and the coloring of this baseball stadium. So, good news. Just change it. Because you're just going to select that one layer right up here that we've just pasted into, and then we can adjust things just as is right there. So, for example, I can go to my color and my exposure, and I can underexpose it or overexpose it. You see, if I do that, right? I mean, so you can play around with that. If you need to do that, cancel that. Brightness and contrast would be a good one to play around with a little bit. Maybe it's a little bit over contrast or under, right? And so you're going to want to play around with that. Brightness, maybe it's too bright or not bright enough, right? Cancel that. And obviously also hue and saturation is going to be a big one too, right? So your saturation, well, not really hue. It's really strange to have one that's the wrong hue. But if it's too colory, you might want to turn that saturation down a little bit. In fact, in this picture, I would say it's a little bit too vivid, right? If you look at the difference between Nadal and this catcher right here, for example, you can see, wow, Nadal's really vivid and bright, but this catcher is kind of a little bit more dull. And again, you're looking at it from the projector, but I mean, even from the projector, you can kind of tell. I'm looking at it from my screen. So I'd probably take his saturation down a bit, is really the only thing that I would definitely do on this picture of him. Okay, hit OK. And let's pretend I'm done with that. Now, sometimes what you might need to do is also go on the edges. I taught you guys this already, but it's a good chance for me to review. I'm going to go to the blur tool. Make sure I'm on a regular circular brush. Yep, that's good. I'm on the blur tool right here. And sometimes what you're going to want to do is go right up on the edge of something to blur it out. Now, in this case, I think it's pretty good. There's nothing really too jagged or sharp on here, but you might need to do it. Let me see. I'll just do it right here on his shirt, for example. I can blur it out just more if I want to. But sometimes if you've, obviously I didn't do a good job. Actually, I did a good job right at the beginning. Let me see. Sorry, let me zoom out, see if I can find it. Oh, look at that. Didn't I start closer down here? Okay, I started closer down here. Look at that. Even though I was trying to be careful, do you see the red sand? See that? That's what will come along if you're too close to that line. I should have come in just a little bit more off of that. But yeah, sometimes by doing the magic wand, the lasso tool, you might get really jagged edges, which maybe blurring would help. In this case, I wouldn't want to do that, but yeah, that's what you could do. I probably want to cut this out just a little bit more. I think I probably want to go back to this original photo and recrop it, actually. But, okay, you get the idea. And then last, step 3, let's pretend we're all done with all that. Step 3 is this guy's arm. So let me just do that real quick. I'm going to hide this guy. I'm going to hide Nadal because I want him out of my way so I can see what I'm doing. And easy. All I'm going to do is click on, careful which layer you're on while you're doing this. Because if you do all this hard work and you're on the layer where your dude is on, right, with Nadal on there, well, it's going to grab nothing except a part of his leg. Do you see? If I do all this work here, it's going to grab nothingness. Here, let me hide this so I can show you. See, if I do all this hard work and grab like a whole region there, it's only going to grab like his kneecap and a whole bunch of blank space. So careful on that. All right, I'm going to go turn this on, turn that off, and click on this one so that I know I'm on that one. And now, again, lasso tool. Very, very easy. I'm going to do a hack job again because I don't want to take up too much time. You guys get the idea. I'm doing a really, really bad job. I'm going to grab, I don't know, hey, all the way to his arm. Maybe some of you guys might have to go even up his sleeve a little bit depending on where you're positioning the guy. But at the very least, grab all of his forearm there up to the T-shirt, I would say. And do a good job, unlike what I'm doing right now, which is just a terrible job. Press Enter. It's selected. Now I do Edit, Copy. I have to add a new layer again. Layer, new layer. Transparency. Okay. And it doesn't matter how you arrange this. This is, oh, actually, no, it does matter. So hang on. It does matter. All right. So now I'm on this. I'm just going to hide this other one just so that you guys can see it. I'm going to now on this blank layer, edit, paste. Yay, there it is. And now I'm going to anchor it down by clicking my mouse. You see I have this anchor next to my mouse arrow, right? So I'm going to click there because I'm like, yeah, that's a good place to put it back down. Exactly where I grabbed it from. Click. All right. Now let's turn them all on and see what happens. Well, it does matter because look, it's an order. The stack order is Nadal, arm, and then the rest of the stuff. So this guy that I just made needs to be above it. So just drag and drop it, and there it is. And obviously, yikes. That is a terrible, terrible job. But if you squint enough and zoom out enough, you can kind of see what I was going for there. Okay. Any questions on step 2 and 3? Again, step 2 being grab your person and do a good job cropping and put it on here. And step 3 is grab the catcher's arm and put on a new layer there. Before I get to step 1, which is the hardest part. Any questions? No? You guys are good? Okay. Let's see if I can do a good job on this, and it's going to be a bit difficult, but I'm going to try my best. I'm going to hide these guys out of the way. Oh, no, I don't need to hide these guys. I need to go on the second version, the one that hasn't been modified. Okay, so let's take out some stuff here. I'm going to go ahead and do some work on this, and this is going to be pretty difficult. So I would recommend, if I were you, don't start off with the grass. That's hard stuff. Start off, I would say, with the bat. Go all the way from the tip of the bat all the way down to his shoulder right here. That would be the easiest thing to do. The second easiest would be to get rid of the shadow and his feet and part of his legs up to where the grass starts. Once the grass starts, it's going to be a little bit tricky because because of the stripe in the background. So do the easy things first, and then so bat first, feet and shadow next, and then I would try to get the grass. So let me show you guys. Let's start right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab the clone tool. I'm going to, again, sizing's important. You don't want to go teeny tiny. You're going to see lots of bullet holes all over the place, right? All this, right? So you're going to want to go a little bit bigger, but not huge. I wouldn't go huge. I'm going to go like that. Yeah, you know what? Let's see. And now, where am I going to sample on this? Okay. I am going to sample. See, there, it's faded out a little bit on this part of the bleacher. It's darker on that side of the bleacher, so you're going to have to be careful even on that. Okay, so I'm going to grab a medium color like here. It's not faded. It's not dark. Medium. Sample right there. Control-click. And now I'm going to go ahead and start drawing. Now, look where I'm drawing. I'm not drawing starting from here. Right? I'm going to start drawing, clicking right there. And, hang on. Oh, you see, look what's going on. It's not quite the full, this is too fuzzy of a circle. I don't like that. You see how little it's drawing? When I click one time, that's as much as it got. Right? You see that? Just a little bit. So what I'm going to do, Control-Z, Control-Z. Let's go back to our tool options here. That's a little bit too fuzzy for my liking. I'm going to bring it one step higher to this next fuzzy one. And now when I click on this, better. And obviously if you go all the way up to this guy, Control-Z, bam. Might be too heavy of a hand. Maybe. We'll see. I prefer a little bit of fading, but not too much. So let's try it. Click on there. Click on here. Let's just see if we can get away with the lazy way of doing it. Click, click, click. Is that believable? Can you see the artifacts? Really? Oh man, the projector is terrible. Oh yeah, hang on. I need to turn my brightness up just for this class. For everything else it's okay, but just for this class, the darks are too dark. Okay. See the artifact right there, eh? So, yeah. I mean, I can see it even clearer than that on my screen. But you guys are looking at my projector, so you can barely see it. See, you can really only see this one. I can see all of them like crystal clear. Okay, so you're going to have to be careful on that. Well, Ms. Shane, can't you just heal that then? Oh, yeah. Again, one of the best secrets is first go over it with the clone tool, then come back around on the healing tool to heal up all those artifacts that are left over. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And I'm going to, again, sample right around here. Click. I'm going to start healing this. And sometimes you want to do click, 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 click. Sometimes you're going to want to vary it up by click, drag. Click, drag. Click, click. Oh, okay. Oh. All right, not bad. Let's heal that just a little bit more. Oops, sample here. Heal here. All right, not too bad. It's okay. It's doing some healing there. It's oh man, Zooming out, I can see it. I'm not so happy with that, but okay, it's a matter of finesse at this point. And I wouldn't use a super duper non-faded thing. I would probably use this one right here for most of the things you're going to want to do here. That's going to give it a little bit more of a fade, and so that will make things look better. Oops, Control Z. Control Z often. All right, so we got rid of part of this bleacher here, and let me show you guys what I'm going to do for this. I'm actually going to, because you can see there's a line, this, you know, where the bleacher hits the ground right there. There's a black line right there, and then there's, you know, some sand, and then AstroTurf, right, or grass. And his helmet's in the way too. So we're going to just grab that all. We're going to take that whole thing, and we're going to get rid of part of his helmet right now too. So he's going to be missing the top of his head pretty soon. All right, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to grab this brush right here is the one I want. Maybe even the fuzzy version of it, but I'll try using this guy right here. Okay, and it's pointed the wrong way, right? I don't want it left and right. I want it up and down. So I'm going to change this angle to 90. Enter. There he goes. Better. See? So I'm just going to go ahead and take this guy, sample like right, I don't know, right here.
Aren't you gonna get the shadow from that phone?
The shadow of, oh yes, good eye. Yeah, there is a little bit of shadow right there. Yes, I would get that, and I don't want to get it. Thank you very much. Good catch. So I'm gonna have to start somewhere after that, and you're gonna want to avoid places with too much artifacting, because otherwise it's just gonna repeat that. So I don't know if you guys can see. There's like a little yellowish line right there. I don't want that, and it's hard for you guys to see. I can see this. There's actually a little blob right here. It's kind of hard for you guys to see. So I'm gonna actually start right around here, and I might increase my brush size just a little bit. With the, hang on. Why isn't it increasing? I said increase. Here, we'll do it that way. Okay, maybe that's a little bit too big. Darn it, my keyboard shortcuts aren't working for some reason. Okay, let's try it. Zoom out. Sample here, right here. Control click right here, control click. All right.
So why are you using the heel tool rather than the thumb tool?
Oh, thank you. No, don't do that. All right, Hawken, you're really on the ball. Awesome. Thank you very much. That would have saved me a oops. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so I've sampled here. Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna be careful of that. And when you start drawing, guys, you could try to freehand it, but it's going to be quite difficult. You can see that it's a very slight tilting slope. Do you see it's getting higher as I go? I don't know if you guys, can you guys tell that it's getting higher? Right, it's pointing in that direction. It's going higher as I get to the other side. Freehanding that will be kind of hard. See, watch. I'm going to go ahead and try freehanding. Well, and I'm not going to be able to do this very long because I'm going to run into my own self pretty soon. So I'm going to go ahead and start drawing. See? Obviously, two problems. I've run into myself right there. Problem number one. Problem number two, I've misaligned it right here because I was trying to freehand it. So let's undo that, Control Z. So you're going to have to take it in slow passes. And what I would do is, I'm going to show you guys a trick. You can do this. Look at when you're drawing, you can actually, it's easier if I show you with, here, watch this. I'm not going to be on the healing tool. I'm going to be on this brush real quick. Click here, and, I don't know, click here. If I hold down Shift before I click my second point, it's going to connect the dots for me. Bam. See? Hold down Shift again, it's going to follow me again to wherever I want to go. Click here. See, it follows me. So holding down Shift after you made one point and you're about to make a second point, and holding down Shift will allow you to do that. Now you can use this to your advantage. So now let me go back to my clone tool. And, hang on. I have clicked on, control click there. And so what I'm going to want to do, I know it's actually sloping up that way. So when I go over around this area, I don't want to make it even with it. I want to make my brush a little bit higher up. Do you see what I'm saying? And I hold down shift as I do it. I'm exaggerating right now, but like this. And if I click on it, see, it's going to go ahead and, oops, did it do it? What's going on here? Hang on. Control click. Shift. Oh, I've ran into myself again, I think. Hang on. Yeah, I went too far. Sorry. Here. Control Z. Click. Oh, shift. Shift. I'm only going to go this far. How about that? And I'm going to slant it up just a little bit. Oh, darn it. Why am I running into myself the whole time? Control shift. You know what? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, that's my sample area. I don't want to start drawing from that point. I want to click one time first. Hang on. Right here, watch. I'm going to click one time first, and I'm going to be a little bit higher. Click one time first. Click. Oh, too high. Control Z. You can see. Too high. Control Z. I'm going to try it again. Click. Ooh, got it right on, I think. Now I shift click from that point, and I'm going to slope up a little bit while I do that. And now I think I can go as far as around maybe this far. I can't see the amount of space I can go from here to there is the same amount that I can go from this point and on. So I have to be careful here, otherwise I'm going to overlap myself. So I'm going to try like this. Click. Bam. See what I just did there? And I can keep on going with that, but it's just going to keep on cloning the same thing again. If you're okay with that, and maybe we can heal that later. And again, I'm going to slope up a little bit. And again, the farthest you can go is however far you are from my sampling area. So I can go, on my screen, that's about like 3 inches. So I can go up to about 3 inches from here. So I'm going to keep it a little bit more conservative, I hope. I'm going to click here. Bam. And hopefully I'm lined up with that, because if I'm not, I'm in trouble. I'm going to go just a little bit more. See, look, I've gone a little bit too high on that. But do you guys see the technique that I'm doing here, right? Using a brush that is a line, essentially, and using the shift tool that will let me draw a straight line from my previous point to my new point. That will help me. So let me just zoom out real quick. Oops. And obviously, Miss Yang, that bleacher looks messed up. And obviously this line didn't connect. I went a little bit too high on myself. So I'm going to have to redo that, of course. But the bleacher, I can just fix that with the healing tool. Do you see what I'm saying? But getting that line all solid is very, very important there. Okay, looks like we're pretty much out of time for today, but I've done a little bit. I hope you guys have learned a few techniques. Next time I'm going to take care of his feet and try to get into the grass itself. And I would be surprised if we do not start this next time. Okay, that's it for today. If your computer is on for some reason, please shut those down. And see you guys next time.